right now.
Yeah.
And I think it's a really interesting one. We're going to try and do a bigger show on this with somebody who's an expert in that particular specialist in that area at some point. But for now, set pieces are a thing for Liverpool right now. Certainly defending them, I think to a certain extent, attacking them as well. And Arne Slot spoke about this morning. He spoke about it a bit recently because, again, the entirety of the Premier League has become so focused and set piece heavy. Long throw-ins, free kicks, dead ball situations, full stop. We are not covering ourselves in glory from them. And I think this is a problem. I said it recently. It extends further back than this season, Carabao Cup final. And Arne Slot this morning spent a bit of time speaking about it as well, highlighted them being a strength at one point, and then for some reason, sort of second half of last season, and so far this campaign, they've been a real sort of vulnerability and even weakness potentially. So, what do you put down? Let's do defending them. Like, is it easy to put your finger on? Actually, I'm going to change that question. Liverpool don't have a specialist set piece coach, by which I mean we've hired Aaron Briggs, who was like the individual coach initially, and he's been given the role. As far as I'm aware, and I'm not going to question his qualifications, but I don't think sort of set pieces are his speciality necessarily. Like, it's not what he did previously. Yeah, it's not what he got signed for Liverpool to do. It's just a job that he's sort of taken. He might be very good at it, and Arne Slot clearly has full faith and belief. But I don't think we are maximising what we're capable of from them.
No, but I think as it comes down to, again, probably get bored of it. There's so many different faces in there, so it's like, but we're bigger as well. Like Isak's a big lad, TK's a big lad, Gakpo's a big lad, Gravenberch, you got your two centre backs. Yeah. So
the full-backs are smaller.
Yeah. Well, Bradley's smaller than...
Bradley's, let's use Frimpong. Yeah, we've lost height there.
Yeah, so, I mean, but in general, I'd say we're probably in and around, like, not too much. If now I'm thinking of like the players we've let go as well, we're probably not, there's not too much change.
I think it's probably a slight uptick in increase in the height, I'd say, But mainly because of Ekitike and Isak, and prior to Leone's injury, he definitely added to that as well. So,
but I mean, there's obviously set piece coaches for a reason now, because everyone's using them. I think they're the little percentages that can all win or lose you the game. And when it's a 0-0, and like, I mean, Arsenal turned it into like a massive weapon now, haven't they? Yeah. So I think it is. People used to like turn their nose up at it, but I think it's part of the game. It's like obviously the data side of stuff, the analysis. I think it's something where people have looked at now and identified. Obviously, like, this could make or break, probably 3 to 6 points a season, couldn't it? Yeah. If not more, potentially.
More, yeah.
Both ends of the field.
Yeah, and so many games that won and lost and decided on them as well. We've seen that throughout the course of history, but now there's definitely a bigger shift in focus and attention on them, and ultimately, from a Liverpool standpoint, we end up losing the game because the Palace because of two set pieces. But I don't know. I think it's too simplistic, but I'm going to say it anyway. I feel like this is from attacking and defending them, and I get the minutiae and where players need to be and all the rest of it, and the set piece coaches for reasons you rightfully say. But I just come back to, sometimes I just want a player, the centre half, take ownership of it. Yeah, that's my take on it. Genuinely,
just going at it.
Yeah. It sounds really simple, doesn't it? Yeah. But you play the game to a good level, and you've just said that yourself. So it feels like that's something. When you've got Virgil and Konate, there's a bigger conversation to be had there. I've said it a million times already. But just go and edit. Deal with it.
Because those two are almost like zonal, aren't they? And other people are marking them, like we've seen it against Newcastle in the final, where they've just basically completely taken them out the game by going, right, they're stood there. Well, it's good header, like, to be fair to him, from that distance. But basically what you're saying is, if it comes in the 6-yard, but your keeper's there as well, so would you not bring them forward a little bit maybe, and like get Alisson or Philly now, obviously with the injury, to come and claim it? Like, you want, when that ball's going out that far, again, good header, but at the same time, could you not bring the two lads to go in, who are free, like your springers, to go and attack the ball, bring them forward a little bit, and put more onus on your keeper?
It's just, I come back, and I've said this for a long time now, it just feels like an area we haven't yet mastered. And I remember there's a Brentford game last season, probably season before actually, under Jurgen, where they scored, I think, 3 set-piece goals against us, and like another 2 disallowed. And it was then when I really sort of went, wow, considering what we've got in terms of Virgil, Konate, and the other height across the pitch that we mentioned, we have not nailed this at all. And there's no reason for it either.
No, it's just, like you say, it's just, you can't put your finger on it. Just like there's, just, obviously those two, like your springers, like just bring them, like are they too deep maybe to actually affect the ball? Because you can literally like take them out by a ball that's a little bit deeper, obviously, but it's hard to say. Difficult
one. I think there's a fine line between sort of the brilliance of where players are and how you're dealing with them and luck. Because Liverpool in the Palace game in particular get done by essentially two sort of second balls and almost second phases.
I think we're switched off there though.
For both.
Like in the lead up to the goal. Like there's a
and that's a problem.
That's a problem, yeah, because you're going into defending like a long throw or a corner and you're not fully switched on. I know it was the last like 9 minutes of the game, but like you play from the first minute to the last.
Yeah.
Because there's a throw in just in front of the halfway line. You can see lads like not fully engaged, and obviously then it leads to
what happens.
I don't know what Kirkers was doing there, but
no, well, a few instances of that, isn't it? But yeah, I just think again, attacking and defending them, we just could be better. And whether it is, I don't want to.
I think you have to want to go and meet the ball as well. Yeah. So,
but again, Virgil.
Yeah, like I said to you, if he wants to, you can tell he gets on the end of him. He just sometimes it's like you're going off for the sake, like make them count type of thing. I mean, Ibu's got his head on a few of them, but
he should have done better.
He's had a few recently where you're thinking like
both defeats.
Yeah,
I think Galatasaray and Palace, he's had semi-decent chances. The Palace one's probably better than semi-decent actually. It's probably pretty much as clear a cut chance as you get from those sort of situations.
I can't remember which one it was, but there's one where I'm thinking
got to score.
You've got at least hit the target when he's put. I can't remember when he put it wide.
I think it's the Palace one.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's near post. He misses it.
Yeah, it is
the
that
Palace one. Yeah, and he got a decent contact on it.
He didn't really have much. Like I know he's moving, but like in terms of like when you're getting held or grappled, you're like doesn't really have that fully, does he? So
no, should do better. And again, I don't know whether it is a personnel thing or whether it's like I say a coaching thing or whatever, but it's just an area at both ends of the pitch right now. I don't think we're quite maximising what we're capable of, basically with delivery and the quality that brings, and again some of the aerial threats that we do have. But it definitely is a problem for Arne Slot to solve, because we keep getting undone by them. And again, on the other end of the scale, teams up and down the Premier League are scoring goals from them left, right and centre.
Won at Arsenal so many games.
Exactly.
I know you can say like, oh, you don't want to turn into a set piece, but everyone, you like you're going to get them, so why not make the most of them when you have them?
Exactly. We've got to play attacking football. We've already spoken about that. We've got attacking players, and therefore a natural byproduct of that will be getting corners.
Yeah.
So why not try and score from the corners? and clearly Liverpool are, and clearly Aaron Biggs is very good at what he does. But I can't help but feel like, I remember speaking to a set-piece coach at the time when Liverpool first put the job advert on LinkedIn to get one.
Yeah.
And Liverpool are going down this road as well, which felt obvious. It was always going to happen. And spoke about the importance of it and all that sort of stuff. And then we didn't employ one at all. Get Aaron Biggs in for a different role, give him the set pieces. Yeah. Fine. But when it's not working, that's when you can start questioning methods and what we're doing. But yeah, fingers crossed it can get fixed.
It's boring like when you're doing it. Like,
is it?
Yeah, you just like it. You need to do it, but when you're obviously then going through like the opposition's sort of set pieces, and then you're on the training ground and it's raining, freezing, you sort of just stood, and there's different ways you're going through. You are like.
Rather be welling the ball around.
Yeah, just having like at the end of training where you're like
just going through the drills.
Yeah, like you go through. Obviously, like there's different signals and what they mean, and like if he does this, where you go, and the ball's going to go back post, front post. It's going to go. Want you to block. There's so much to it, but when you're doing it, it is like it's necessary, but it is boring.
Well, funny enough, honestly, I don't think it was this presser this morning. I think it was the midweek one when he mentioned how the set piece meetings that they have now are as long as the meetings they have sort of analysing the last performance and looking ahead. They spend as much time on them as they do anything else. So to what you're saying there makes sense. Do you do them like based on what the opposition do as well, or do you just do your own thing?
No, you do. So you go through the opposition, sort of what they might do. Like they've got, obviously they'll have so many different corners that they sort of go
left
through.
Foot, right foot,
like
into
what's this signal mean if they're bouncing the ball or one? Obviously, teams will change it as well because we're getting watched.
Of course, yeah.
And then like when you're obviously attacking, that's more on the like you'll get like sort of a slide to go through, but obviously on the training ground as well, you're sort of going through, and that's when I'm.
Go on. Yeah, sorry.
No, that's when that's what I'm saying. Like, you need to do it, but when you're doing it, it is hard to fully
Do you play them out, or do you literally sort of walk through them? By which I mean, do you do them at walking pace, or do you ever do it? Does anyone ever whip that ball in?
You'd walk.
You're not just getting spoken through it step by step. You are actually acting out.
You get sort of go step by step, and then you'll go right. We'll do a few real ones. Obviously, the lads who defending are
This is a completely aside topic, but while we're talking about your training, do you practice pens?
We have done, when we were in the playoffs,
Yeah, of course,
I think that's the week before, or we were in the FA Cup or something.
Yeah.
We used to add them on, so we'd do a few throughout the week, and then obviously take note of who scored the most and stuff.
Were you in that?
I was fourth pen taker.
Was you?
Yeah.
Look at that.
And
You didn't go
to pens, no.
Were you pleased about that, or?
Well, no, because we lost, but...
No, I mean, sorry, I mean, were you pleased about the fact that you didn't get to pens and you didn't have to take one?
I think there's a bit of both, because you're thinking, be great if I scored here, but at the same time, you're, walking off.
Yeah, on that note, again, we really have gone on a tangent here, but... Because I've spoken to a lot of players, obviously, in this about penalty shootouts, the Istanbul story, for one. And it was a case of, obviously, Rafa had his list, but sometimes managers just go, do you fancy it?
I think that is a big part
of both.
It. I think there's a bit of both. I think, obviously, if you're taking pens and staying and you're missing, you take, however many throughout the week and you've missed half of them, you go and you can feel however you want, you're not taking it type of thing.
Yeah,
but
of course,
I think if there's a lad who's sort of all right, but, all of a sudden in the days goes, I want to take one, you go,
bump him up the list a little bit.
Bump him up the list as someone who's going, I'll take one if you want me to.
Because that was it was Carragher again who gets a reference here, because I think it was about the League Cup that we won in 2001. He gets to take one in that.
Yeah.
And he basically said that was because he did say, listen, I'm up for this. You know what I mean? I want to do it. And all of a sudden it was go on then.
There's lads who are like that. You can tell when someone's going I'll take one. And if someone goes, just take it, I'm not bothered. Yeah. If you some people are just like that, aren't they? They're just score. If I don't, at least I've put my chest out and done it. So there is. I think it can make a difference. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah. Right. Somebody whose penalty I'd rather never watch again for the Carabao Cup final is Ibrahima Konate. Scored it, but my word. Let's do 5 minutes on Ibra just quickly, because it'd be remiss not to when we speak about Liverpool's problems right now. It's hard to know where to start, because he had a really good game against Arsenal. He sort of came out on social media a little bit and sort of I'm not sure in hindsight that was the greatest move, but it's trying to silence its critics a little bit, and I'm fine with that, but you can't back that up with 2 of the worst performances I've seen you put in Liverpool shirt. There's something wrong there right now, isn't there?
Yeah, I think the easy one is to go with Zeds in a different place. And I think I've said that too. I think it's such an easy shout to go with. It could just be not playing well. But that's there, and you're not getting away from it. So it's going to get thrown at you anyway. So that could be an extra pressure. It could be a distraction off the pitch. But I'm just saying, there's more to it. And you're just going, what's that? But I think he's always been like that, though. I've said so many times, I think he's either unbelievable or put someone else on type of thing. There's no middle ground. Not often. Obviously there's some time without being but
there is one extreme to the other a little bit. Yeah, it's interesting, and I think we've seen this certainly in the last 2 games, and it is very much a small sample size. But he has been a victim of what I sometimes reference as being if the first thing you do doesn't go well. And we spoke about this before about different players, by the way. But I've seen that in Konate the last couple of games, his first touch or his first pass or his first defensive decision, whatever, his first defensive action hasn't gone to plan, and it's just spiraled out of control.
I think if you're playing well, you shrug it off and you're if you've had 5-6 games, I've been on it here. But when you are in that sort of good game, bad game, good game type of thing, you're you start to, and then you go, oh, not again. So I think there's a little bit of that in there. So I think if he's had 10 games when he's been boss, I don't think that makes a difference. Whereas I think now he's probably going, I need to be on it. And sometimes you can get too worked up as well. So I think there's probably a little bit of that in there as well, because there's obviously more pressure on him now with his situation on top of that. So he'd be playing bad and be getting criticised, but I think now there's probably a little bit more on it because of that.
Absolutely. And we've spoken in the past about how Virgil elevates the lad next to him. So he has got the perfect guy to sort of talk him through and to get him through this little rough patch. And I'm sure Virgil will be trying his hardest to do so. But on the topic of what is the obvious answer when it comes to what's wrong with Ibu, the Real Madrid situation, I don't know if you've ever been in a situation or played with anybody who's been in a situation or whatever. You might have played with somebody who's been having sort of interest or suitors or people sniffing around him from higher up, who knows. Psychologically, how difficult is it, do you think, to deal with that? Because I've had people say to me literally this week, like, do you really think that'd bother you? But it does. Like, in the back of your mind, subconsciously, whether you know it or not, if you're taking to the pitch thinking, I've got all this going on off the pitch. Like, I know that club, XYZ club's interested in me, so I can't get injured. You'd think you'd want to play better to impress them. Yeah. But if you know that the interest's already there, it's very difficult to sort of be at your best, I think, when, for whatever reason, that 1% has just gone a little bit.
Yeah, I just think it's just a hard situation. I think there's a little bit of, like, he's probably had that his whole career, though, when he's playing, and, you know, like, even when we got him from Leipzig, it's like, I know Liverpool are watching me, so there's pressure on there. So, in terms of that, he's probably had that before in the past anyway. Maybe because it's such an open thing that his deal's nearly up. Maybe he's thinking like there is a pressure and there's more of a spotlight on him. Maybe, especially from Liverpool fans themselves and the club. Because obviously there's negotiations going on. If he wants to like try and bump up more money or whatever it is, you need to like justify it on the pitch, or maybe that's adding extra pressure. Maybe it's like speaking to other clubs to go and like, you know, again, need to perform to obviously get those extra incentives or whatever. There's so many things to it, but he's got to have been used to having people look at him. So
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
because there would have been a time, as you mentioned, obviously when he was at Leipzig. Prior to that, getting to Leipzig, internationally, he'll have been thinking, when do we get me call up? So there's probably always been that external.
Maybe it's more of an actual decision of, got this from Liverpool and I've got that from Madrid per se. Maybe it's like his head split between what he wants to do. Maybe that's like the actual thing. There's just different ways of looking at it, I think.
That was a clip from the Coach's Corner. To check out the whole show, head to redmenplus.com or click the link in the description.